Morning. Hey, y'all. So, it's Mother's Day. I absolutely despise Mother's Day. I spent yesterday with my aunt, whom I love. We went around to the cemeteries, replacing flowers for Mother's Day. So, it's a big thing. I stay off social media today, every year. I usually make an announcement about it on Facebook, but it don't do no good. Seems like Zuck saves it all up. When I come back, all the posts that I was trying to avoid will be there waiting for me. I have a knot in my stomach just thinking about it. And I understand a lot of people had great mamas. A lot of people love their mamas. And I'm happy for you. I really am. I don't wish what I grew up with on nobody. I don't. Nobody should have a mama like I grew up with. Let me tell y'all about my mama. I don't even know where to start. The only person that mattered in our house was my dad. And he was an alcoholic. He's a narcissist. He very emotionally abusive. A few times a year, he'd get physically abusive. When I was little, she would use me to try to manipulate him and try to get him to come home when he was out drinking. We didn't have a phone, and so she'd send me to the neighbor's house when he didn't get home by a certain time to call around to all the bars. I had all the phone numbers memorized. In elementary school, I had the phone numbers to all the bars in Waynesville memorized because I had to call him regularly to ask if he was there. And then when I'd get him on the phone, I'd have to say something pitiful, begging him to come home. Even though I didn't want him to come home, because I knew that there was a good possibility that he was going to come home drunk and mad and throw furniture around or throw her around. And I'd be hiding in the closet in my bedroom. When I got older, and we didn't live here around people that could protect me, that I could go to when these things happened, I was away from all family. She switched to blaming me for it. I came home one time when I was about 17, before curfew. Came home early. I could hear her screaming from the front yard when I pulled up. And I walked in the door, and she was limp and hysterical. And he was drunk. And he was standing behind her, and he had his arms under her. He was holding her up from behind under her arms. And so I got between them. I got her away from him, and I got her over to where her chair in the living room, and I sat her down, and she's just hysterical, just crying. And I look at him, and I said, "Why do you do this?" And like that, she dried up. She looked at me, and she's, "Because you act the way you do." I said, "Bitch, you are on your fucking own." And I left, and I never helped her again. And that's how she was. And then the thing that finally ended it all, the thing that made me go no contact with him, if y'all haven't read my blog, don't know any of this story, when Grab 'em by the Pussy stuff came out, and they were still supporting Trump, And I explained why I had a problem with that, because I had been grabbed at a concert at 14. That, all these other Republican men were saying that they had a problem with him now, at least temporarily, because I have a daughter, and my dad didn't even faze him, didn't care at all. He was still just 100% pro-Trump. Didn't even occur to him that maybe somebody might have thought to do that to his daughter at some point in time. And her response to me was, well, you were a wild child. You ran around with different men. Oh, before that it was, all I know is you were supposedly molested by some man. And you have to remember, you were a wild child. And you ran around with different men. And that's when I stopped her and told her to get the fuck off my property and never come back. And anyway, so that's the mama I have. That, of course, is my adopted mama. And my birth mother don't want nothing to do with me. So Mother's Day, it's just not a good day for me. I have been told several times when I bring this up, but make it about you and your children. And y'all, my kids don't want that pressure. You understand? They cannot be held responsible to undo the damage that was done to me as a child. Okay? They have their own damage. They have their own issues. They have their own problems. You can't put that pressure on them. Okay? They're kids. I mean, okay, they're not now. They're in their 20s, but they'll always be kids to me, right? But you can't put that on them. You can't put that on them. Okay, that's not fair to them. It's not their responsibility to undo what was done to me as a child. Okay? And quite frankly, there's nothing that they can do that will undo that. There is nothing. There's no amount of Mother's Day cards. There's no amount of gifts. There's no amount of celebrating me as a mama that's going to undo what was done to me as a child. They can't do that. And it's not fair to ask them to. So don't go there. Don't say that to me. Don't say that to them. Don't say that to people who have been abused as children that don't like Mother's Day. Don't say that to us, because it's not fair to our kids. It's not right. Okay? Don't go there. So there you go. That's my Mother's Day rant. Mother's Day sucks. I hate it. I wish it wasn't a thing. I don't wish it wasn't a thing. Let me take that back. Y'all that have good mothers, y'all that have good mamas, that love your mama, that miss your mama, if your mama's gone, you deserve to have a day. You deserve it. Mamas that were good, mamas that are good, you deserve a day. You deserve it. I just wish that there was a way for those of us who don't have it, those of us that have pain around it, I wish that there was a way to actually opt out of it, to actually avoid it, to actually, check out and miss it all and not have it rubbed in our face. I wish that there was a way that we could avoid this. I haven't figured it out yet. If you know how, please let me know. Because it's really hard to avoid. Thank you for coming to my Lisa Talk. See you next time.